Okay, this is 409 County Road 737. Kind of give you a little look at the neighborhood here. It's a cul-de-sac at the end of the road down here. Just kind of has a little turnaround down there. All these are mostly similar houses. It is kind of a corner lot in that this is County Road 740 right here, and if you look on Google Maps, you'll kind of get the idea of what they're doing here. It's very close to Post, but you have several rows of these. I would call them starter homes. They're smaller, and at the other end of this road here, I don't know that I'm going to be able to see it. You can kind of see it. I don't know if you'll see it in the video, but this kind of dead ends to a bunch of townhomes up here, and that's kind of, there's a whole corner of that block up there is townhomes, and mostly flight students in these houses and in those townhomes. Beside your lot here, there's just a power line easement, and then you've got a water drain here. The edge of your property is bordered with these tall evergreens. You do have underground utilities on this street, so there's no power lines on this side. You can kind of see the side of the house here. Kind of come across to the other side. You can also see, I don't know if you can see, my car is kind of on a slope going down. So all the water that comes here is going to kind of go towards the house. But I don't see any major erosion. I'll kind of point that out as we get a little bit closer to the front of the house there. The roof is like 2 years old, I believe. It was just replaced pretty recently. There's your underground utility box, and this side of your house here. Cable is available out here, but at some point in time someone had a little satellite dish. They do have gutters on the house, which is not super common. Love it when they do, but unfortunately you do have some washout here because they haven't extended that out in any way to get the water away from the corner of the house here. So it's, with the age of the house being 2006, that's still not bad. I don't see it being a major problem. I would, if this was a house you wanted to purchase, I would put the little extensions that kind of pushes the water out a little bit so it doesn't erode right here on the house. Some of the paint on the aluminum edging here, you can kind of see it's kind of coming off there. They've really done no landscaping, but it does look like the water, this might be slightly higher end here and water would run off in that direction. I don't see any signs of high water in here. And then we have your front porch. Okay, step inside. We come into the living room. Obviously it's tiled, and then it's going to go back to the dining and kitchen areas in there. But you do have a very large living room here. And I did not bring my measuring tape. I thought it was in the car, and it wasn't, and I was already almost here. So if this turns out to be a home that you really like, I absolutely can come back and measure these rooms for you and give you some dimensions. Here's your dining area here, and then it's open to the kitchen. From the looks of the house, and that you'll see what I'm talking about in a moment, it looks like this was probably a rental, and I would bet money that this wasn't flight students. They usually take better care of homes. This one's kind of been a little bit rough lived in. There are brand new appliances. I don't think they've been used at all. If they have, it's very lightly used, although I do see, yeah, someone has used that stove, but it's, again, in really good shape and condition. It does have a dishwasher, and then the sink has a window overlooking the backyard. We'll check the backyard out in just a minute. Over on this side of the house, you do have a door to your garage. We'll go ahead and take a look at that. It was painted at one point in time, but it's worn down pretty good. Your electric water heater is here in the corner. It's probably original. I looked for a date a minute ago and couldn't find one. There's a control box for a sprinkler system, but with it being unplugged, I have a feeling it's probably not in working order. They didn't mention anything, I think, on the listing about it. You do have some pull down stairs right here, so you have some attic storage up above in the attic here. Okay, and you can kind of see what I'm talking about. It's just, you'll see it in here too. Normally there's a little ball bearing kind of thing here, and that spring pushes it up into this to kind of keep it closed when it's closed, and that's been worn completely off. And then hopefully you can see this in the video. And this is just a laundry room, so it's not a big deal, but you do have some stains in here. They really weren't taking great care of the space. You can kind of see dirt here in the corners quite a bit. But that is a nice little laundry room, and you have a wide hallway out here to bring your clothes and do those. But the tile floor is fairly dirty. This is just an office space. You could count it as a bedroom because it does have a closet. This looks like mold, but I don't think it is. There is no leaks up here in the roof, unless maybe when they replaced the roof, this was something that they fixed, but I don't get that smell of mold or mildew or anything. There's a big paint stain there. Oh, wait a minute. She did. Okay, that's what this is. She had sent me a message way after I'd asked her to take a look at it. This was the people who lived here, their smoking room. So they use this room to smoke cigars, I believe. And it does have a little bit of a smell. They're offering, I think, a $750 painting allowance for this room alone, just so you can get rid of some of that smell, I think. And you can kind of see here the soot build up. I don't know if you can, it's kind of dark right here, but this is light and this is dark just from where they were smoking in this room. All right, we'll go ahead and hit the backyard since we're on this side of the house. All the other bedrooms are on the other side. You do have a couple of steps down to a little concrete patio. The yard is extremely wide, but not very deep. You have a double gate entry down right here. So you have a large entry there for a big mower, or if you had a storage shed that you wanted to put in or something like that, there's plenty of room. And then it's just very, very long this way, but just not very wide. But then you have a single gate entry over on this side. The fence is, it's leaning in some spots. Like I say, this house has just been a little bit hard lived in. They could have absolutely cleaned it up a little bit more, but have not. But I also think that is shown in the price of the house. This house really should be a little bit more, 10 to 15,000 more at least. Paint's worn off right there from where they have it priced right now. This is new LVP flooring back here. We've got a Nest thermostat here. We've got a linen closet. They are textured walls. You can kind of see here, they call it an orange peel style. It's not a smooth wall. First room on the left is a bedroom. Does have the 2-inch faux wood blinds, but they are also kind of not in great shape. Okay. Then across the hall, we do have our guest bathroom. The curtain rod is taking a little bit of a turn here. It's kind of sagging this way instead of coming out this way. But The shower itself is relatively clean, as is the toilet, but you can kind of see some wear and tear on the countertop. And then I don't know why that's doing that, but you can kind of see even in the video that this is bubbling up in some places here, and it feels like it's on the other side of the door as well. It's almost as if it got wet in a few spots. I don't know. Across the hall from that is the AC closet. This is your air handler. This is 2006, so this is original with the house. So this is considerably old. It's like, I think, coming up on, I think it's 18 years. This year was 18 years. Next year should be 19 years old on this. So that is beyond its life. If it's working fine, which I believe it is, I wouldn't count on it working fine for a long time. Okay. Nice sized room here. It's pretty large. I think it's a little bit bigger than the first guest room that we looked at. But again, I can get you absolute measurements on these rooms if after watching this you're like, yeah, I kind of like that one. We can absolutely get all the details we need on it. At the end of the hall here, we have another linen closet, a little bit wider than the other one. So 2 linen closets in the hallway. Your main bedroom here, huge space, plenty of room for a king-size bed, either there, or even over here. Seems to be in the same shape as the rest of the house. You do have a small walk-in closet here. And you kind of see the space, double racks here, single rack there. Nice big light. Okay. Looks like that screen has been, I don't know if you can see, yeah, you can see the screen's been bent in. Somebody's tried to get in that window, which this is not a very high crime area. Could have been the owner trying to get in if they locked their keys in or something. Very long bathroom countertop here, one huge long mirror, 2 sinks, several drawers and cabinets. Behind the door here, you do have a very large jacuzzi tub. It is one of the larger ones I've seen, actually. Okay, and then it's going to be noisy because this fan comes on as soon as you turn the light on. So it's a little bit noisier, but tucked back up in here is your toilet with your moisture fan there. And oops, a sliding door. And then you have a fiberglass stand-up shower in here. As far as location goes, this is very close to Post. So I think it's attractive for that purpose in that you don't have far to go to get on Post. It is a popular area, like I said, with the townhouses and those other houses that are all in this area. This is kind of what these houses were made for. Some things I was gonna mention in this video is, as we're looking for homes, I'm always trying to look, like if you're moving here forever, I'm gonna look at things differently than if you're moving here for just flight school. If you're moving here for flight school, you need something that you can easily turn around and rent, something that's very rentable. This would be a home I would consider because of the location. I think it is very rentable. I think it needs to be dolled up a little bit, cleaned mostly more than anything else. That's something we could ask for in an offer. Something we need to talk about also in the process of all of this is an offer on a home is a lot more than just the sales price. You're going to have closing costs. You're going to have prepaids, warranties, inspections. All these things cost money. And some of these things we can try to get the seller to pay. So these are all things to kind of keep in mind. I think the house is somewhat reasonably priced. If you do like it, it does need to be cleaned. We could ask the seller, hey, we want you to have the home professionally cleaned. for one as detailed as this one would need to be, that's probably asking them for another anywhere from $500 to $800. And then we would also want to see if we couldn't negotiate in them paying some of your closing costs and maybe even your prepaids. We can talk about that more in detail as we get a little bit further along. But something like this would be fine. If it was in better shape and condition, I absolutely would expect this to be at least $250. It's a shame that it's not in better shape. But it's got the old beige paint in here instead of the more popular gray tones that seem to be very popular these days. But anyway, proximity to post is a big deal. How close people can get from here to post, but still to shopping in town for groceries and food and whatnot. This is a pretty decent location. I will point out one thing that might matter to some folks it wouldn't. But as I mentioned out here, you have three streets of houses just like this house. You can see a couple of them right here. There's that street, another street, and then I think you have 2 streets of mobile homes. Those mobile homes were here before they started building these homes. And if we look, let me see if I can zoom in even, because you can see them from here. So there you go. So those streets down there start beginning like two rows. Now they are larger, typically decently kept yards and homes, but that matters to some folks that they're close to mobile homes or not. But yeah, and the city of Enterprise is probably about 3 miles this way, and the post is about 2 miles that way. And you're right off Rucker Boulevard, which takes you either way. So if you have any questions on this, or if I've haven't answered everything, or if I missed something, just let me know. Typically it takes from beginning to end, from the time you make an offer on a home, it takes roughly 30 days to close and get your keys and move in. And I know you don't know when you're coming here just yet, so when you get a better idea of when you think you might be here, that's how we need to kind of do the math as far as if you have a place to stay here, that's fine. You can absolutely just make an offer on something once you're here, and then be staying somewhere for roughly 30 days, and we can close on it and you can move in. Or if you're wanting to be able to get here and move straight into something, we would want to time that out for 30 days before you get here roughly. All right, and that's about it. If you have any questions, just let me know.